Mr. Cheeks here. This is just my way of looking at everything that's going on. So, this is a dollar bill right here. Okay? This represents all your money you make, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All year long. Okay? Through those hashes or whatever. Alright? This left half is tax. Oh God. Okay? Left half is tax. All this, literally half, if not probably a little bit more, depending on, maybe a tiny bit less, maybe down to here if you make like federal minimum, but an average on either side of this is what average is, okay? Half. Now, some people are going to be like, hey, Mr. Cheeks, you're dumb. Well, that's fine. I could be dumb all day. Because generally somewhere in here is where average is going to be. And then in here, you got to add in your 8% for sales tax. And then your property tax. And then your capital gains tax, your registration, your whatever else, any type of permitting that you're getting for fishing or driving or whatever. All that shit included, you're at least going to be right here on average. Alright? So this is tax. I'm going to put this F-R. I think you spell fraud A-U-D. Okay? Whatever you want to call it, tax, fraud, both, is just going straight to the government. Now, we're going to go work from the right this way. We'll put a blue marker on this. You got to think, what percentage of your money are you spending on your mortgage, on your rent, on your living in a hotel, on your van life, on whatever type of lifestyle you're living? Now, if you're doing like a van life, you got probably, some people don't, but on average, you got a car payment, you got insurances, you got fuel costs, in any type of way that you're living, you gotta eat. Food's expensive right now. More than likely, you're going to be spending money on food, water, shelter, at a minimum, for basic human necessities. The number one probably cost is going to be the shelter. And then the number two is going to be food. And water generally, on average, is pretty cheap. So, let's go probably about, I would say on average for most, I don't know why that changed, but would be somewhere in here. Okay? And this is living. Okay? Living expenses. I'm not even going to be able to fit expenses in there, but living expenses. So you got your tax on this portion of all your money, and then you got living expenses on this portion of your money. Okay? There's two separate entities profiting off of this, which would be government. Oh, I guess I don't have enough room. We'll just put a G there for government. And then on this side, who's profiting? Corporations. I'm just going to put a C for corporations. Okay? So, big corporations and government. Now, this little sliver in the middle, if it's even this wide for some people, there is no sliver. It's just literally all going here and here. But on average, according to mainstream statistical data, I don't know what to believe out of anything anymore. I could only go off of my subjective experiences. But for this, I meant to like put it to where like you pretty much have like 1 month, you know what I mean, like of earnings. Um, for that little sliver, you're supposed to be able to retire, save for retirement, invest, emergencies, whatever else. Ask Dave Ramsey. I don't know. What the hell are you supposed to do with a month's wage? A year. And be able to put that in something to where you can retire off of. Because this is pretty much paycheck to paycheck. Maybe you got $70, maybe 100, maybe 200 at most at the end of the month. Which would be like $2,400, probably, maybe on average, is what Americans make according to statistics. That'll still give you 1 month. What are you going to invest in $2,400 out of the year that's going to be able to set you up from, I don't know, 65 or 70 or whatever, all the way till you hit 80 or 90, 20 years or so? Hopefully at least 15. Because if you spend, your whole life saving that $2,400 in the bank, 12 years, that'll buy you a year. 24 years, that'll buy you 2. Just keep on doing the math from that point, and you'll be like, well, I only got like 5 or 6 years at most. I don't know. That's where, Social Security will come in play. Yeah, that's a Ponzi scheme. This little sliver. What are we doing? At most, our taxes should be, at most, should be right here. And we should be able to play ball. And, honestly, our living should probably be about right here, I would say. And we should be able to play ball. I know this is getting pretty ugly. But with all this, we should be able to play ball. You know what I mean? Should be in our pockets. I would argue even all the way out to here. I mean, work a month or 2 for the government, work a month or 2 for your living situation. Everything else is just... But why has it come to that? Why has it come to where it is just a little bit ago? Why are we... I know this is getting really confusing. Well, the thing is if you only had to work 2 months, let's call it 4 months out of the year, what are you doing the rest of the year? Some people would just be like, why work more than that? A good portion probably would. Well, who's not going to profit? These people right here. Corporations aren't going to profit because they're not working you 300 days out of the year. 275, 300, whatever it is. Probably more like 300, maybe 350 for some. Well, why do they need you to work 350? Well, because every time you go and clock in, they're making this big of a dollar off of you. Okay? Every time you go in there and clock in that day, they're making a dollar amount this big. I don't even think it's that big. But that's what they're going to give you while they're creating all this wealth. You fuck that. Where's the eraser at? Forget I even drew that. Forget I even drew that. You wanna know? You wanna see what dollar amount you're making next to that? About that. I did a video the other day and I broke down the math and what I was making a company, and it was I wasn't getting paid shit on what I was making them. Okay? So, and then every single one of your coworkers in that place, this only keeps on getting monumentally bigger. In comparison, this only keeps on getting smaller if you add all your incomes up and what your guys are all making them. You know what I mean? That's why they put the squeeze on you like they have. Because they need you working, and not only do they need you working, a lot of people are finding themselves, hey, I'm working 2 jobs. I'm not working 1 job, I'm working 2 jobs. Fuck, some people are working 3. I did a video on how $30 is the brand new $7.25. And if you're making less than $30 an hour, you're making less than federal minimum wage. In comparison to earlier, previous dollar money values and buying power and whatever else. And how everything has multiplied by 4x. Whatever else. Like if you look at 2009 and look at the cost of a car. And then now you look at the same car, or relatively the same car. They're 4 or 5 times more expensive. Could be 6, 7 times more expensive. Same thing with any type of asset that you need to have to live, pretty much. Or to be a functioning member of society. Housing, assets, cars, anything. Fuck, I remember. I don't know how cell phones worked, but I remember my first smartphone I got for like $150. Now they're all $1,200. That's like 10x. I don't know. I don't know. All I know, you'll notice you can get TVs for nothing. You wanna know why? Because they constantly sit there and advertise stuff. It's like buying a PlayStation. They sell them for just what they could produce them for, because they know you're going to purchase all these games and apps and whatever else on it. Digital content, whatever, skins, blah, 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 who cares? And PlayStation gets a cut out of all that. So they know that, yeah, they're giving up this little bit right here, but they're getting all this. Same with the TVs. There's constantly, like the Roku TVs or whatever, that purple thing that goes across the screen constantly, it's advertising McDonald's, Coca-Cola to you, among other things, whatever else. I don't even know. Don't even pay attention to it. That's where we're at. And yet, this percentage of people right here are making big money. The most of us are making little money. And they keep us trapped in the system. See where I'm going? They suppress you into strife through all types of different legislation, executive orders, actions, whatever, and whatever else. And having covert meetings with mega corporations and whatever else. All these smart people get together and think. Like, they just sit around a table, drinking, smoking, whatever, and come up with ideas. Hey, how could we fuck the normal person just like you and me? All day. That's all they do. That's their job. And they get paid handsomely for coming up with very creative ideas on making you poor and them richer. That's it. So when I tell you, like, that dollar bill thing, that I drew earlier. I know I'm not a great artist, but, you know, that should be our income tax or tax for the government. This should be our cost of living. We should have all this in here. That would greatly help out you and I. And not only that, that would eliminate all of the backdoor deals going on and shrink the shit out of our government, which would be very beneficial. Not only that, but I don't care who says I'm dumb for saying that. That would make our economy fucking boom, baby. Boom. The reason it's not booming is because all the wealth goes I meant to hit don't save. File, new, don't save. All of us normal people that are working are down here. Okay? This is government, big G, big corporation, C. All of our money is going straight for, and we'll put M for like the millionaires. I know corporations or whatever, but we'll just put, a lot of greedy fuckers up there. All of our money, we are all down here working. These people aren't doing shit. Not a fucking thing. You could look at how grossly incompetent they are at what they're doing, just generalized across the board, and be like, ask yourself, what the hell are they doing? Not anything beneficial for you and I could promise you that. But all of our money is going from there straight up here. That's why we are all broke. We're not spending our money on anything but through to the government and mega corporations. That's where it's all going. And these people, all these people up here are buying assets. Because assets are inflating with the currency. They are getting richer by doing nothing. You are effectively getting poorer by doing the most. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm just trying to not use any big words and not try to complicate anything, or I'm just trying to break this down as simple as I possibly can. I somewhat understand what's going on. Not fully, but I somewhat understand what's going on. And if somebody is, like maybe 18 to 20 years old that really doesn't give a crap and like looks at this, I hope you do, because it might not make sense to you now, but give it another decade and you'll be like, holy shit, that dumb ugly bastard on the internet was fucking right. They do nothing but lie to you every day about anything they tell you, especially like mainstream media. A lot of these big YouTube channels that are running ads and everything else and whatever else, and they all say the same damn things, just a little bit different wording. They're all fucking bought off and paid for to say these things on the internet. I got like 70 subscribers. I ain't got nothing to gain from making this. I probably will never make any money off of making these videos. And even if I did, I don't even know what I'd do with it, because I don't know, because I just money really doesn't make a fuck to me, honestly. I mean, like, I'm very comfortable in my piece of shit crack shack house. Good enough for what I need it to do. It keeps the snow off me, keeps the rain off of me. Okay, cool. That's all I need. I wear old work shirts just because I ain't gotta buy a regular shirt. Maybe I should be on like the extreme cheapskate or whatever, but that's neither here nor there. I don't even care about money. Like if I had $1,000,000 in the bank right now, I'd be like, oh, my life's no different. Sure, I could, take a vacation or maybe, I don't know, get a better microphone and camera or whatever, or better PC so I could make better content, but, I mean, other than that, what would I need it for? Buy maybe a little bit better food so I don't have the shits from time to time. I don't know. Would I go out and buy a new car? For what? Who do I have to impress in this world? Nobody. Got off topic. I know, I'm fucking stupid. But this is really what's going on. All of us are working really hard. Work. I know, I'm pretty good at drawing. This is us working hard, a big ass group of us, for the size of people about that big, maybe smaller, to do absolutely nothing, to defraud us, to make decisions for these people, or maybe even these people, to make them a butt ton of more fucking money, while we're down here just getting dumpster fucked all day. That's what it is. And I watched a video the other day, somebody that said, if you're kind of overwhelmed with everything, or whatever, look, if you just group up and bitch with a lot of people together, shit will get better, I promise. And if it doesn't, look at France, or wherever they're throwing shit all over the fucking federal buildings. Sometimes you go up to that, start destroying assets, not physical, physically hurting people, but then they're going to be like, fuck, we're losing a lot of money now too. Holy shit. Not only are they pissed, but we're losing a lot of money now. Well, our American dream's falling apart underneath us. We got to do something. Why? Because fear is the number one motivator. Fear of maybe people physically hurting them? Cool, maybe that's where you all get together and kind of... A protest is to install a little bit of fear. That's why they put a whole bunch of cops right in front of you. To say, hey, we're gonna, what is that word? Checkmate, I guess. We're going to meet you with that. And then if the protest gets too huge, they walk away and change happens. I promise. That's a fact. Because then they're like, oh, yeah. I promise, if the whole fucking city gets together, maybe y'all don't agree on everything, but if the whole city gets together and says, fuck you, what are they gonna do? Implement the National Guard on the whole city? I don't think so. I don't think that'd be a good strategic move at all. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm talking a decent sized city, I don't know, Austin, Texas, something like that, Cincinnati, Ohio, Cleveland, Ohio. I'm familiar with those. Hell, even New York City. That's a pretty damn big city. It's not big, but it's very congested, with a lot of people. Hey. Oh, well, they put the National Guard in the LA riots. Yeah. That was over some stupid shit, and there wasn't a lot of people. In fact, there was a very, 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 very small amount of people. Compared to that whole city? Yeah. tiny little dot blip, nothing. Nobody was there, essentially. What I'm trying to say is, for us to implement change and get shit done to where it needs to fucking be, you need to quit listening to these fucking ass boy shit banging Appalachian hillbilly corn chucking looking motherfuckers on the television, and you need to get with your neighbor, and you and your neighbor need to get with their friends, and then get with their friends, and then get with their friends, and then get with their friends, and grow big, the whole fucking city, and tell them, no, fuck you. You have something like that happen, and then multiple cities start doing it, I promise you the government's going to be like, huh, this is not looking good. You know what I mean? Because for us to sit down here, and I want to ask you a question. Have you ever missed a meal because of what's went on in the last couple of years? I have. I mean, I'm skinny as fuck. I've missed many meals. Lots, in fact. Because of what's been going on the last couple of years. I've had my fucking power turned off. My water turned off. I've had a lot of negative things happen to me. I've had to sell a whole bunch of my shit that I worked pretty hard for less than nothing, pretty much. I know it's just materialistic things, but, you know, some of them had some sentimental value. But hey, it is what it is. Just to get by. Because of all this. Boom, boom, boom. All of our money. That little thing I showed you earlier. Where the government's taking this half the money, mega corporations taking that half the money. Now, if somebody that's really wealthy right now is watching this video saying, this dumbass is just lazy and he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. Well, bud, you're part of the fucking problem then. Seriously, you are. Because I guarantee you and this big fucker right here is ripping a whole lot of people off. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And if you're struggling like I am, and hundreds of millions of other people are, you're probably in this boat right here. And you just want to sit the next, I don't know how old you are, but let's say average 30, 40 years in this boat, doing the same thing every day for nothing. Except, but you do have a purpose, and a lot of people don't know what their purpose in life is. This is just water. Gotta say that because people probably think I'm a crackhead or something. Let's face it. But you do have a purpose, and what that purpose is to farm. For these two, mainly these two, to farm off your bitch ass. You produce the goods and services. These two benefit from it, whether it's through the tax or whether it's through you being a, I don't know how to do this, consumer. Oh yeah. Yep. Just saying. You know, I mean, like, there's many examples of, for instance, Goodwill. Goodwill gets all their shit for free, 99 free. Doesn't pay a dollar for any of it. All donated. And they charge you, if you go into a Goodwill right now, they're charging you damn near 3/4 of the price of something. At least half. If I was thinking something was a goodwill and gesture, yeah, the people donating it is goodwill, they would charge you no more than like 1/10 the price. That's what I would think. I don't know. But that's just one example of this. That would be these people right here. And then they go and they pay these people less than, they don't make $30 an hour at Goodwill, which would be the $7.25 comparable to that of 2009 or whatever. They don't pay them that. They pay them less than federal minimum wage. Because $30 should be the federal minimum wage. Honestly, to just live, $40, $50 an hour. Based on my subjective experience, to be able to pay all those fucking tens of thousands, it feels like, of bills coming in at the same time, to feed your family, and to be able to invest for your future in, don't tell anybody I told you this, but enjoy your fucking self a little bit. Yeah, you need $50, $40, $50 a fucking hour. Absolutely you do. And if you want to go on vacation, you need $75 an hour. You want to drive a new car, you need $100 an hour. Seriously. I'm just being transparent. But why aren't you worth... Let me put it to you this way. I worked at Wendy's my first job. Just flipping burgers. I was drunk and high and whatever else you could think of going into that place. Just a degenerate as hell, dumber than fuck. All I had to do was just literally put burgers on a grill type deal, and that was it. And I got paid what equates to now $30 an hour, but back then, and I was working part-time, and I was doing all right. My last job, which was about a year or two ago, I was making $30 an hour, over 30. I think it was like 31 something. And I struggled my fucking ass off, boy. I was like, dude, what the fuck? I was only getting like 50 hours a week on average-ish, maybe 45, 50, somewhere around there. And I'm like, dude, what the fuck am I supposed to do with this? Why do you think I lasted like 3 or 4 fucking months? Because I was looking at numbers. I'm like, I'm getting paid this. My input is this amount. My export is this amount. I'm paying more than what I'm fucking making, and I'm working. I'm like, hell no. I was like, nah, I can't. No, fuck you. I was like, seriously, it was like unionized and whatever else, and I was like, hey, look, you don't pay me more, I'm not showing up tomorrow. And they're like, what? And I showed them, like, I made a PDF thing, I printed that bitch out, and I emailed it to them, and then showed them my expense reports for all my fucking bills, threw them all in a PDF, emailed it, printed them out, and showed them, itemized. And I was like, does this make any sense for me to fucking do 45, 50 hours a week here and not be able to accomplish at least this? And they were like, sir, I feel like you're being a little hostile. And I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm like, I have skill, a skilled trade, and I'm doing hard physical manual labor, and I'm not able to accomplish my bills. I live in a house built in 1913. I don't have a car payment. I don't have credit card debt. I have just as minimalistically as you could possibly imagine. That's what's going on here, and I can't pay my shit. Guess who didn't show up to work the next day? I didn't. Because I couldn't make it off that. There's a dog leg over there. Why do you think I have a little bit of animosity? Because these people are making yachts or yachts daily in income, and their hand, like, not even the whole peanut, just the little, they'll flick a shell at you. And be like, here, bitch, psh, live off that. Bitch. Peasant. Seriously, that's what they're doing. That's what happens all across America every single day. To hundreds of millions of people. And while these guys over here, why do you think Amazon made like $650 billion last year? Why do you think I had to drive them to and from a shitty-ass motel because they can't afford an apartment to live in? Are you starting to see what I'm saying? Why do you think all that's happening? And I made a video explaining, hey, these people could be making or at least $170,000 each, and the company would still be racking in $300 billion annually. I don't know. No, just give them the 35 to 40,000 or what. I don't know what they're making, honestly. But I know what they're making isn't enough. They can't afford a car. They told me, hey, I'm not even going to get a license because there's not even any hope of me going, you know what I mean, getting this fucking finance for this. Hell no. And even if I could, why am I going to spend $1,000 in between the note and the insurance every month when I could just sign up for this Uber deal and then pay like, I don't know, $300-400 a month and not have to worry about the vehicle or driving? And that was another thing. Working for fucking Uber. All fucking day long, they were dicking us down. There was a time I couldn't even see what I was part of the reason they fucking changed that shit, at least here. Because I called them and I was like, hey, if I told you to come work for me, and I wouldn't even tell you how much you made until the end of the day, and it's going to change every single day, and most days you weren't making a profit, would you show up to work? They said, well, no. Oh, you wouldn't. So why the fuck are you doing it to me? They would just have, hey, this is this far away. This is how far the whole ride is. Accept button. That was it, pretty much. No, not a dollar amount, nothing else. And you just sit there, duh, hit the accept. And then half the time you're losing your ass. That's how companies like that fuck you down and stay. Dude, they are making money, boy. Anything that I would make in a day, double that. And these big corporations, double that. That's what I personally made them in that day. At least they have relatively really small, low overhead costs. I have a fucking asset that's depreciating. I have fuel I'm fucking burning. You know, it was insane. It's insane. And then, like, you start doing the math on all that shit, and you're like, dude. And I'm talking, I was working hours, boy. And I was like, I ain't fucking making nothing. I mean, I was barely profiting, but I was profiting. And I'm like, no, can't do that. That's dumb and gay. Dumb and gay. Real bad. I don't know if it's, I mean, Canton, Ohio is a pretty decent sized city, in my opinion at least. And there was voluminous, or whatever the word is, amounts of rides offered. But nope. That's what I'm saying. Like, everybody's getting so dicked down so hard. And these people are so fucking greedy. Everybody's got to be a fucking millionaire. And in that type of situation, you just got to dick everybody down. And that's how these people are doing it. That's how they're multi-million, billion trillionaires. Because they're fucking everybody. Everybody they come in contact with. just getting all day long. That's how they're million, billion, trillionaires. And the higher the money value is, the harder they're doing the... Promise you. Yeah. And that's why we gotta put an end to this fucking bull. We're a democracy. Yeah. Constitutional republic. Let's be a fucking... We have the right to overthrow a tyrannical, corrupt government. That's all I gotta say. Tell them, fuck you, you ain't getting your taxes. No taxes. We could start there. Start there. Go tell them to suck their mother. I don't know. I'll catch y'all on the next one.